So I've just been in a very low vibrational state today. Let me warn you now, all right? Because I'm really not in the mood. And he says, unfortunately, you don't have the right to make the decision. And I am just like boiling up with fire. It's just interesting.
Duh.
Mental illness. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's go with it. Now, let me be very clear. Very clear. I'm irritated today.
I like the water feeling on my body. Why does it scare you?
Honestly, can't imagine the nerve it took to actually click publish on this. Because it's the juice, and if you don't have the juice, you don't have it. So if you don't have the juice, you can't capitalize.
Fill the room with the juice. That's a lot of loot. That bit fire. Yeah, she kinda.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day because I am not. I know. I'm really not. I really wasn't gonna film today. You know, I tell you guys pretty frequently, like when I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. I'm not gonna put myself out there when I am not in like the right energy. But I do feel the need to make this video, and I do think it kind of correlates since I am in a very down mood and energy. And obviously we'll be talking about Gabbie Hanna, so mental illness. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's go with it. Now, let me be very clear. Very clear. I'm irritated today. Not that something happened. I'm just in a very irritable, irritated mood. And that is just kind of what happens when I don't get enough sleep, or really any person with a mental illness doesn't get enough sleep. So I've just been in a very low vibrational state today. And part of me is like, well, even if I wasn't in this energy, I'd probably still be saying the same things. So let's start with this, because I know there were some people that were super hot, super duper hot. Gabbie Hanna wasn't hospitalized. Gabbie Hanna wasn't hospitalized. Calm down. I was just going off of the TikTok. All right, I was just going off the TikTok. Like I said, I am not a news channel. I'm never gonna come over here and be like, this is the facts, and at this time, this is what happened. People who do that, I really respect you guys, because I let me tell you, I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people at all, because one day I'm not gonna be the same as the person that was that person 2 days ago, right? And that's just kind of what I've realized about myself. With that being said, yes, Gabbie Hanna was not hospitalized. What happened was, I believe she had 2 psychiatric evaluations, meaning they came to her and evaluated her there, which I am just going to say this quite frankly is a privilege, okay? It wouldn't have went that way for other people, me included. So what I'll be doing is just telling my experience of what happened to me, as well as watching Gabbie talk to these officers. I found it very intriguing, especially, again, those who have been through stuff like this. Fair warning, I'm probably gonna come off pretty rude in this video. I'm probably gonna come off pretty bitchy. I'm probably gonna come off really resentful, bitter, angry, mad, low energy, low vibration. Whatever words you want to put into girls that are uncomfortable, go ahead and add that word right on in. That's going to be my energy in this video. Let me warn you now, all right? Because I'm really not in the mood. And if you feel the need to unsubscribe or anything of that nature, please do so. Please do so, because I am very much not going to put a mask on today, metaphorically and physically. So we'll be putting on a clear, transparent mask, and I will not be putting on a mask that you know, is all like, oh my God, I'm so happy, like, let's talk about life, and oh my God, no, that's just not the energy I'm in. I'm gonna be honest with you. Right after this video, I'm gonna edit it, get it up, take a shower, take a bubble bath, cry for 2 hours, watch 5 of my favorite movies, and then probably cry for another 30 minutes, and then make sure I go to sleep crying, because I'm just in that energy. And I've been trying to fight it for quite some time, but I'm done fighting it. I'm done fighting it. I'm sick, I'm annoyed, I'm miserable, and I'm just irritated. That's the energy we're in today, and I'm breaking out, as you can see right here. So I'm pissed. Okay, I'm pissed. Like, I literally cannot stand when my skin is just literally showing me like how stressed out I am. With that being said, let's hop in here. I am also going to do another video on Gabbie Hanna that is more surrounding the black comments that she said that I was not aware of. But that's going to be in another video. We're going to be focusing on something different in this video. But yes, I had a friend send me some clips that she thought it would be really, she wanted to know my thoughts on these clips. And I was like, what are you talking about? And so she sends a couple, I think she sent like 3 to me. So we will have that video as well, just because I wasn't aware of the comments that Gabby was making surrounding Black people and just the culture of Black people and religion. And I wasn't aware, y'all. So listen, I'm never going to be that person that's like, oh yeah, let me go watch 200 TikToks that Gabby Hannah posted and let me go dissect. I'm never gonna be that person. So we're only gonna watch the 3 that my friend sent me, and that's it. If there's more, please link them down below and I'll be more than happy to add them. But other than that, I'm not gonna be the person to go and check out her. I'm not a psychologist and I'm not a doctor, right? So at the end of the day, like, I'm really just giving you guys my experience and what I think, and that's it. I don't want anyone over here thinking I'm diagnosing somebody like, oh my God, she said she wasn't manic. Why are you saying she's manic? Man, if y'all don't calm down. Just let me be quiet. Let's get in some happier energy. Anyways, so let's go ahead and hop in here. I don't think it's that long. I'll do my best to get the audio as concise as it needs to be, but yeah, y'all gonna have to bear with me on that. I just don't care today. I really don't. I really wish we were watching something more happier and more light, because my energy is very, very strong right now, and I know it. This is the beginning of her little TikTok rant of the cops that were watching her or something. Anyways, we'll pause, we'll talk, we'll discuss.
And detained me without reason after I asked, mocked me, and demeaned me in my home. What made me laugh was all 5 grown-ups flinched every time 5'5", 155-pound little old me in my skin-tight workout clothes. They flinched every time I shifted, even a little. It's almost like they're afraid I have superpowers.
So right before the cops busted in my back door, all on camera and documented, obviously, they came in and they did a quick little search. And then I came down the stairs. They wouldn't tell me why I was being detained.
This also happened to me. I was detained, and it was probably one of the scariest moments of my life, to be honest with you. I was like really distraught. I mean, even right now, as you can see on my face, I'm still kind of pissed off about it. And I asked the same thing, and it's not that they ignored the question, but they just said, you have to be detained. Like, now, Gabby's in California, I believe. I am in Texas, so it's very different laws. If this were to happen in Texas, I'm pretty sure she would have been taken away. I don't think they would have been playing this little game of like her on TikTok and all of this other stuff. But again, that's just my opinion. In Texas, they have to detain you. It doesn't matter the situation. You will be in handcuffs, even if you didn't do anything wrong to anyone. I'll go over what that story looked like for me at the end of this.
Left me, and then they demanded that I drink water. I said I didn't want any. They demanded that I drink water. So I had to drink water behind my back, and I took a sip. And
I do feel this part is very strange. Very strange. I don't know why they would make her drink water unless they felt she needed it, or unless they could detect that she was dehydrated, or they wanted to get DNA, but I don't really think that's the case here. I just think that this is a very weird situation. I also, and I'm not dismissing what Gabby's saying here, but the having to put your hand behind your back to drink the water situation, that's a little strange. Wouldn't there be like a woman cop there to either hold the bottle for you, or even a male cop if you're comfortable with it if they ask? So that's a little weird to me, to be completely honest. But again, let's continue.
they said, no, drink more water. So I spilled a little on my chest, and he put his hand on his hip as if he was gonna me. And he said, I said, drink the water, don't spill water on yourself. I said, officer, I'm in my own home.
In my opinion, that was a power move to get her to react. And that's what's really scary about these situations, is like sometimes you can control the way you react, and then other times you can't, depending on the medication you're on. If you're not on that medication anymore, if you're spiraling at that moment, if you're, I mean, there's so many different thoughts that could be going through your mind. So for me, I feel like this was a power play. Why? Because I had a power play within my own situation. And this is cops, and I don't want to say manipulating the situation, because obviously we still need cops on this earth. Like, I'm not sitting here saying we don't need cops, but there is a sense of manipulation because they need to, quite frankly, do their job, right? So if they're called somewhere and they don't have like an action plan of taking this person somewhere or some sort of outcome, then yeah, it's gonna be like, well, you know, why didn't you do that? So there's these little things that I've noticed within certain cops, because I've definitely met great ones before, that they will do things, whether it's emotionally, physically, they'll do certain things to make you feel a certain way, and then from there they want to see you react or manipulate you in some way to go in their favor, and it is terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. Like, my situation, I think it took me like a year to talk about it. It took me a long time to even really accept my friends back into my life. I was in the hospital for over a month and no one visited me other than one person. So, you know, when you're in this state of not being in your phone, you can't be on your phone, they're checking everything you do, from how long you sleep, from what you eat, you know, what time you took your medication, all this stuff. And you simultaneously have people who don't give a damn about you, don't care, they're not there for you. My mother literally told me like, oh, I'm glad that you're there, and literally didn't care. And so when you go through this, like, the damage that it like puts on that person, again, and this is if you actually are taken and you're, you know, basically like trapped in some sort of mental prison, if you will, at least that's what I called it.
I like the water feeling on my body. Why does it scare you that I just put water on my chest?
And it's not that it scared him, I think it was more so, let's see how she reacts to us thinking we're scared. Gabbie's smart though. She played this correctly, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm in my own home with my hands cuffed behind my back with 5 bullies with guns illegally searching and detaining me with no answers at all.
I don't think it was illegal. They're detaining you because they can. And honestly, the fact that you're even able to be in your house, and again, I don't want to take away from Gabbie's situation, but I really do want to convey that she did get the longer side of the stick in this situation compared to other people, compared to people who don't have fans that can back them up, people that can't just like pull out their phone and be like, oh, well, you know, I'm recording everything on TikTok. Like, okay, well, you have 5 followers, we don't care, right? So like, it's a very different situation that I think other people will not experience. They will think they might experience that, and then when it happens to them, they're like, whoa, well, this was not what I saw online. Like, this didn't happen to Gabbie Hanna, or this didn't happen to this person or that person, right? But it's like, you're a normal person just living life, and it doesn't even have to be fans. It could be anybody, and that's another thing. But we'll get in that at the end, but let me not say too much.
They wouldn't let me do anything else. They wouldn't let me talk. Well, they would, but they mocked me the whole time. And then they started getting a little scared because of the, well, officer, why don't you tell them the definition of civics? Do you believe that you've met your civic duty when you broke in, did an illegal search, and cuffed me? And I literally told you guys, I have it on camera, if you forget, I'll show you. You said, do you have any cameras? Are you recording? Can you put your phone down? I said, of course, I have cameras everywhere.
What's interesting about this part is that don't all cops have cameras on them? So I know that they have the freedom of either turning the camera on or off, depending on, of course, that district or where that cop, you know, works. And then you have some cops that like it's on 24/7, they can't turn it off, right? So it's just interesting.
Duh. And by the way, the 2 officers that just once again entered my backyard and refused to leave, they just want to know if I'm okay. Are we okay?
Tell them.
We're fine. I told them
They just want to know if I'm okay. I remember hearing that line. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think anyone on this earth actually cares if anyone else is okay. And I know that's pretty pessimistic. I know it's pretty negative. I know. But again, after certain experiences, as a human, it's just defense mechanism, right? It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna have my guard up. Yeah, I'm not gonna trust you. Yeah, I'm gonna cut you off. Yeah, it's goodbye. So it's a difficult process. And again, that's why I'm in therapy. That's why I advocate for therapy, because I just feel like it's so hard to get over. Like, it's so hard to get over and see these people as helpful citizens of the world, you know, especially when you've done everything you can to prove whatever needs to be proven in any certain situation. But this part right here.
I'm hanging out in my backyard with a friend, smoking. He brought his instruments and his dogs.
It's baffling to me that, and I'm not saying she doesn't see her privilege here. I don't know that. Obviously, I haven't spoken to Gabbie, but for her to blatantly say that openly with no issue, and I get it, it's California, they're allowed to smoke weed, I get that. But again, there's a certain discernment with certain people that they just know, let me not say that, let me not do that, let me hide this, let me not have this out, whatever it may be, again, because they don't have a level of privilege, a level of power that, you know, another person may have to where they can easily say this. So it's very, very interesting to me. Also, it's crazy the levels of trauma that this situation can cause that so many people do not see. They just see it as like, oh yeah, like, well yeah, if you're sick, you go to the hospital, like that. And it's like, I literally saw a man rip out his eyeball out of his socket. There's just certain things you can never unsee.
Can I exercise my right to free speech in the United States of America and express and practice my religion? Or should I move back to the Middle East like you want us immigrants to do?
It's like crazy the level of privilege. Like, and I don't want to knock what she went through, but my God, it's. I mean, I could have said the same thing, right? I was just expressing my free speech. It didn't matter for me. I'm being honest with you, Gabbie. It didn't matter for me. No one cared about my free speech, because that's really all I did was just freely speaking to other people, and that led me in the hospital for over a month. Lost my job. Almost was evicted. So it's very hard for me to sympathize with this, but I'm trying, by golly, I am.
Oh, it was my ancestors that were immigrants. Or am I, oh right, I'm white. Or Middle Eastern, or whatever it is I'm supposed to be, right?
She clarified to people that she had not expressed harm to others or herself and wanted to make it clear because there had been so many cops coming to her home to check on her, and she seemed like she did not want that to happen anymore.
Just a friendly reminder, I have yet to threaten harm on myself. I have yet to threaten harm on anybody else. No, really.
Do you guys actually think Gabbie would hurt somebody else? I'm curious on this. Like, the people who are not mentally ill, the people who observed this situation and was like, yeah, like Gabbie needs, like she needs help. Like, do you guys really think she would have hurt somebody else? And if you do, like, honestly, can you tell me why? Like, can you explain to me where that comes from? Because I relate to that a lot. So when I get asked the question, because they have to ask the question, by the way, doctors, psychiatrists, therapists, they have to ask you that. And it's a bizarre question to me, because it's like, I would never hurt somebody else. I don't know. I've never been in that, like, mind frame. It's very much like, I'm the person that needs to go. I don't know, like, for me, it's very much like I'm the one that needs to die, not the other person. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, but that's just how my brain works. My brain immediately goes into, like, suicidal thoughts. Like, why are you here? You're a burden. No one cares about you. Like, literally, you could have died yesterday. No one would have cared. Easily, nobody would have cared. Just like when he was in the hospital, nobody cared. So why would anyone care about your death? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where my brain goes. At the same time, it's like, I get that there are those that do have some illnesses to where they do get very angry and they do want to hurt others, and they, you know, and I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's a different evaluation, I think. So I don't know. But the idea of her harming herself, maybe in the aspect of self-harm, I don't see that either, honestly. And I just feel like Gabbie would hide it so well. I personally do. I feel like Gabbie would hide that from everyone very, very well, to where it wouldn't even be like something that would be on people's radar. Whereas like this is very much just like high vibes, spiritual awakening, manic episode. You know, I mean, I wanted to be a pastor, so I remember being, not to say that Gabbie's trying to be a pastor or anything like that, but I remember being in that very, like, I just want to be in the Word, I just want to be in the Bible, like, I just want to express myself, that's it. I don't want anybody else, like, telling me what to do, what to say. This is who I am, point blank period. Like, I've been in those states before, so I don't really know, but at the same time, I think it would take Gabby to care to get diagnosed with something, to be evaluated on that spectrum of like a long time, like meaning someone watching her for maybe a month or 3 months and really like seeing her cycles, how she eats, how she sleeps, like when she takes medications, when she doesn't take her medications, what are the things that are coming into her mind, like that takes that person to care to figure that out. I don't think it's, I think there's a lot of people in this world that will go without any thought of wanting to check that out. Ew, gross. I don't want to look at myself and my flaws. Ew, you know, like there are people that are just like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I literally have 3 kids, I have a wife, I have a house, I'm verified, I'm this person, I'm that person. Why would anything be wrong with me? You're crazy, you're insane, right? So when we're talking about that, it's like, you know, like, and that's why mental health is so tricky. But reason being I wanted to make this video is because in my experience, again, just in my experience, my experience was completely different. And the reason I want to say this story is so other people understand how you get here, right? Because I think when you're looking at it on the outside in, especially with somebody who's famous, it's so different. It's so different. But like, let's say you're a regular person that doesn't know anybody, right? So you can be in this situation to where the cops are at your door, they're knocking, you're detained, whatever, literally just by solely talking about your mental health, whether that's on Instagram, a dating app, it can be even text messages to a brand new person that you just started talking to, like whatever it may be, right? It could be anything. And you don't really know who's in your corner when this is happening, right? So for me, in my situation, I was talking to this guy on Bumble. It was like, when was this? Was it September or September? Okay, so like maybe end of September, I think. Yeah, end of September, middle of September 2018. I'm talking to this guy, getting to know each other, not even a big deal at all. Like, I'm not even thinking anything of this, you know, just regular conversations. And then I'm telling him that I'm a pretty sad person, and so yeah, I'm damaged. So here I am. Very upfront. I'm one of those people that will literally just engulf my traumas onto you, because for me, I need you to know that so you can go away. Bye bye. It's very simple. Go away. Why? Because there's some people that just can't handle it, and I get that, because baby, I can barely handle it. If I can barely handle it, why would I expect you to be able to handle that, right? So I'm just expressing that, whatever. Next thing you know, I remember I go to the bathroom, I come back to the kitchen, I check my phone, unmatched. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I guess I freaked him out. On to the next. But in my mind, I'm not thinking anything of this other than just like, we unmatched, he wasn't feeling me, that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't even meet this person. Like, mind you, I didn't even meet this person. 5 minutes later, I have 2 cops at my door telling me that I need to like leave my apartment. I'm like, I'm not walking outside this door. Like, I don't know what to tell you, so I'm not walking outside. It's not gonna happen. So they're talking to me and they're basically trying to figure out like what's going on. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. I don't know why you're here, who called you, all this, you know, because in my mind, again, I didn't even meet this guy. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know where I live. He doesn't know my last name. Like, he doesn't know anything about me. So in my mind, I'm just thinking, what are you doing here? So they end up saying that somebody called wanting to do a wellness check on me through an app. And the second I heard app, I was like, oh, Bumble. Well, what a little bitch guy that was, right? Like, what a little bitch. You don't even know me. Okay, yeah, I'm depressed, but you don't even know me to insert yourself into my life to that extent. So as this is happening, the cop is basically, and I'm trying to figure out what I can consider this as. So, you know, when someone's being interrogated and it's getting to the point where they're just like going deeper and deeper and the person still has the same answer, but then they're just like asking the same question but in a different way to see if it's the same. Like, that's what he was doing. And then he just like took his whole guard down. He was like, you know what, I just want to talk to you like one-on-one. I don't even want my partner here right now. I just want to talk to you one-on-one. And I'm thinking in my head like, oh, here we go with the manipulation, because I already knew what was coming, right? So I, of course, like a dummy, trust the cop. I leave my apartment. I'm like, okay, what would you like to talk to me about? And he was like, look, I can see that you are a very sad person. I can see that you are really, really damaged right now. And I can see that you don't know what to do about it and you don't know how to fix it. So as he's saying these words, obviously I'm standing there very much like, you don't know me. But what are my eyes doing? Right? Filling up with water. Tears. So, tears are streaming down my face, and at that exact moment, he was like, you know, I just think it would be best if we just went for 72 hours, got a psych evaluation, make sure everything's okay. 72 hours. It doesn't even have to be 72 hours. It could really be 4 hours. We just want to make sure you're okay, but you would have to come with us. I say no because duh. Like, what are you talking about? I literally had like 3 interviews lined up. I was like doing so much extra stuff. I had school on top of that. Like, I hadn't even graduated college yet. I was very much on my own in my first apartment ever, paying all of my own bills with absolutely no help. AKA, I was supposed to be living with my boyfriend, but he cheated on me with 2 different girlies. Life, I know. Anyways, and so I am just trying to have my freedom at this point, right? And so I'm just like, I'm not going anywhere. I don't know why you think that that's the need. I don't think being sad is a crime. I'm not a harm to myself right now. You're more than welcome to come back tomorrow and check up on me, but I'm not going anywhere. So then he says, unfortunately, you don't have the right to make the decision. And I am just like boiling up with fire in my body at this moment, right? So he tells me that I need to go put some shoes on, that I need to come with him. As I go and do that, because at this point I'm just like, these are not gonna leave me alone. Okay, they're not gonna leave me alone. So I go and put my shoes on. I remember I wore Vans, I wore a t-shirt. I didn't bring, when I tell you I didn't bring nothing with me other than like my phone, like very basic, just nothing at all. Because again, in my mind, I'm like 4 hours, okay, maybe 72, whatever, but I'll be back for my interview and I'll be able to do what I need to do. No, that definitely did not happen. Definitely didn't happen. So the second they see that I have my shoes on, they see that I'm like dressed, immediately they grab my arm forcefully and they detain me. And at that moment, I just broke down because 1, I'm not no damn criminal. I am not no damn criminal. Like, it just pissed me off because it was just like, why are you treating me like a criminal? I shouldn't have to have my hands behind my back right now. You know what I mean? Like, it was very, very dehumanizing, extremely dehumanizing. So if you have never been handcuffed in your life, let me just tell you something. Don't ever talk about anybody else that's had that experience. Do not ever do it. You don't know what it feels like. And so they're walking me down to the cop car, whatever. I can't even get in the car. So you know when you see those cop videos and like people are like, oh my God, it's too tight and it hurts and blah, and you're just sitting there like, dang, you shouldn't have done that, dummy. You know what I mean? It's actually very, very uncomfortable. It's extremely uncomfortable. It's like you just were stripped all of your human rights within like 5 seconds. And so I'm crying, it hurts. Like I literally am crying at this point where I couldn't breathe. I started having like a panic attack and like hyperventilating. And so the cop pulled over and was just like, look, we have to detain you because it's the rules, it's the law. Like, we don't think that you're a bad person, nothing like that, yada, yada, yada. So ended up being in there for a month and a half. I even had 2 judges very confused on why I was in there so long. Extremely confused, extremely. And then one came to the realization that they were just basically using me for money because every day I was in there was $500. So keeping me medicated low, not able to, do what I needed to do was very much their goal, right? So finding out how corrupt the mental health system is in this country really knocked my socks off. I literally saw a man pull out his own eyeball. The most graphic thing I've ever seen. But besides the point, that was my situation. So yeah, I assumed that she was hospitalized from Karen's TikTok. Obviously she wasn't, whatever have you. Still a traumatic situation in my mind, regardless of what happened to Gabby, regardless of the privilege, regardless of who she is. It's still a very traumatic situation, regardless, because man, is it something you're never gonna forget. I promise you, it's something you're never gonna forget it. I will do a more in-depth video of what my experience was like in a mental health hospital. I will definitely do a video on that. However, it will be featured for my members only. I will not have that video public because it's graphic. A lot of really messed up stuff happening there from, people being molested, you know, guys trying to girls. I mean, really messed up stuff, man. I mean, really, really weird, scary, messed up stuff. But I definitely came out a better person. So at the end of the day, I will see it as a positive experience. Other than that, you guys, we will have another Gabbie Hanna video that's going to be more surrounded around race and what she was saying. But this video, I just really wanted to kind of shine light of why I thought it was a hospitalization, why I said hospitalization, and what my experience was compared to Gabbie's experience. Now, I'm not trying to bring race into this, but obviously both experiences were very different. I'm gonna go cry. It's time to cry. All right, it's time. It's time. So I'm gonna go do that. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Well, that's when I put on, in case you're wondering. Bye, y'all.
Pulling out the coupe in the lot, 12 for a squat, pushing all the bells out the box, hit the leaf with the